Welcome to Book Thots, brand lifestyle podcast. We are thoughts for books, and these are our thoughts on books. I'm Adriana.
I'm Emily.
And I'm Jenna.
Three sisters stripping down one book at a time. Today, we are joined with very special guests, the crew from Between Pages and Friends, the go-to podcast if you're looking for true experts in a read-along deep dive in popular fantasy books.
Before we jump in, we do have a content warning. Today's podcast is rated mature. We are Book Thots after all, so we're going to be using adult language and talking about adult topics. So please pay attention to who may be listening near you. Additionally, this episode might include spoilers for some of the most famous fantasy series. So please be sure to check the chapter markers to skip ahead when needed.
Thanks again for joining us. We appreciate it. You know, it's a busy schedule and it's a Friday night, so we appreciate you carving out time for us.
Yeah, we're excited to be here.
So excited to be here. This is a long time coming, so I'm so glad we made it happen.
It is.
I know we met at Enchanticon, which feels like days ago and years ago all in one.
Absolutely.
At the same time, yes.
100%.
So we're thankful that we could finally get together and just talk about books and podcasts, and I feel like that's the only two things I know right now.
Yeah.
Which I'm okay with. I would say most people know who you guys are, but for those that don't, just kind of wanted to let you have an opportunity to introduce yourselves and tell us a little bit about your podcast.
I'm Con. My husband and I live in Ohio, and my book bestie Lauren from college and her husband Kyle are from Missouri. So we are long distance besties, and in 2023, Lauren and I started Between Pages and Friends as just like a joint Bookstagram account as a way to share our unhinged texts about the books that we were reading. We were buddy reading a lot of books. And at the start of 2024, that was 2 years ago. That's so crazy. I started posting some videos of John reading the ACOTAR series that went viral. And within a few months, we had started a Patreon and merch website. People were really loving the reactions and theories from a first-time reader led by a rereader. And so in May of 2024, we started this podcast as a way to carry that same dynamic into a fun read-along format with all four of us. So typically we have two of us are rereaders and two of us are reading a series for the first time. So far we have done Throne of Glass, the Empyrean series, the Fae and Alchemy series, and When the Moon Hatched. And we will be starting Dungeon Crawler Carl on February 11th.
I am so excited. I will be listening to all the episodes. It's literally one of my favorite series and my friend's favorite series.
Awesome.
That's awesome.
I'm
And then
so
you guys
excited.
said you hadn't read it yet, so you can read along
Yeah.
as first-time readers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That'll be fun.
We're following your format, apparently.
Absolutely. It works. So.
We've discussed trying that out,
Mhm.
but I just think I wouldn't be able to keep my mouth shut. And I'm also someone that I have no patience. So if I'm reading a book, even if it's for the podcast, I have to finish it. I'm sorry. I'm going to stay up at all hours. And if it's a cliffhanger, I'm going to read the next book too. And I can't wait for you guys.
Yeah, the
It is an
waiting
art
is the
form.
hardest part. It's
Yeah.
really hard. And we just finished Brimstone and our mods set the reading schedule and they gave us some pretty tough cliffhangers. And it was just, we had to wait. But it really is reading on the podcast and getting to discuss every week and getting those pure reactions is kind of half the fun.
And it is half of testing the ones of us who have read before. If you are the first time reader, you throw a theory out, and then all of a sudden the people who have read before go quiet. You're like,
Yeah.
no reaction.
Mhm,
Interesting,
mhm.
interesting.
I feel like you kind of said it, but what has been your favorite part of doing this podcast? Obviously with your best friends, that's awesome. But if as far as viewership and things like that, the fans that you guys have, because you guys have quite a following, what's been your favorite part about that?
I think my favorite part is just getting to see each other every single week because you talk to your friends, but you don't always get to sit down for hours and talk, especially your long distance friends. So that's
Yes.
a big major plus in this one, but really just connecting with people all over the world. And we find some person who reaches out to us and they're from some very obscure small town in another country or something. And it just blows our brain how far this has reached out. It's just been surreal and super exciting and super fun to just get to connect with people. With that is connecting with the authors, and we've gotten to interview some really cool authors and learn about the book writing process, also the audiobook narrators, and just learning how that all works and the ins and out of that, it just makes me appreciate all of the process so much more and just actually getting the book in my hand and the process that it takes to get there. So yeah, it's really fun and just getting to do it together.
I really do like like you said, the diversity in our community too. Because I mean, we all have wild theories that we throw out for these books sometimes, and they're pulled from different areas of like our own expertise, or maybe something we just Googled once. So we'll be like, oh, maybe this rock means this. And then someone in our community will be like, actually, I'm a professional geologist, and here's what that means. And we'll be like, whoa, we have a geologist in here.
And we have gotten a couple of husbands and wives duos to read together with us, which is fun because
Yeah.
that's kind of our whole thing. So shout out Paul, shout out Bob, all you other husbands out there.
I was gonna ask about you guys too, and just like your process so far and what your favorite part has been.
I mean, I think also just like spending time together because she's married to my brother, and then I'm married to
Oh.
Adriana's brother. So we're like
What?
3 sisters, but not
Wow.
related, just sister-in-laws.
Yeah.
Nice.
Which is crazy because people are like,
Okay.
you do like, you guys, it's a mature rated podcast with your sister-in-laws, and it's like, yeah, that's just how it works.
Yeah.
So
We're all family and we spend time together.
Yeah.
anyway.
so
That's so
I
funny.
love
I had
that.
seen sisters. I didn't realize that you were all sisters-in-law. That's so funny.
yeah. So that's been like a lot of fun. And then kind of like you, interviewing authors has been so fun.
It really
And
It's so
hearing other
cool.
people's theories that I just like never even think about, because my theories they're just surface level. There's not any, I didn't deep dive. I just had a random thought and was like, this sounds like it could be right. And then people will
Mhm.
go on our TikToks when I post it or something. They'll be like, this isn't true. You can tell it's not true in chapter 37, line 2. And you're like, yeah, I checked out chapter 37, line 2. You're right. This is so far off.
Got me.
Yeah.
Or when Jenna and I like pay attention too hard on something specific and it has nothing to do with anything foreshadowed.
Yeah. They can
Relatable.
hyperfixate quite a bit.
Yeah. I think my favorite part has been able to like actually discuss the books with them though. Like we've
Yeah.
read books before and like met up to talk about them and stuff, but actually continuing to meet and go through the books together just makes it a much more enjoyable experience for me.
I feel like it's brought us closer for sure. Like we spend time together with our families and stuff, but like I think the need to have a girls book club and just being able to kind of chat, and then we bring our husbands into it just because, you know, they hear things too and we're like, you should read it. You would love it.
Yeah.
So it's a lot of fun.
My least favorite part is editing.
She gets all
There
the
hours of editing. I just feel like that takes up so much time. One day when I'm rich and famous, I will hire someone
you
to
go.
do it all. But
There you
then
go.
actually maybe not, because I also like to be in control of it.
That is relatable. I had a
Yeah.
tough time handing that off, but I did delegate that to my lovely husband, John, and he's been editing for like 9 months now.
Has it
And
been that
he's
long?
Awesome.
I think
a long
so,
time.
because it
Baby.
was when I,
What?
yeah, when I got my new job, John started editing, and that was, I think it's been about 9
Crazy,
months.
John. Good job.
Dang.
That's
Okay.
incredible.
Yeah.
So maybe I'll make my husband do it.
Yeah, that's
Mm.
perfect.
Yeah, free labor. Just
Yeah.
He works in mental health therapy, so maybe in between your sessions, if you could just put the headphones on and get the
Right.
edits
There you
in,
go.
that'd be great. Let
Yeah.
your patients listen to it. I don't know.
it'll help.
Yeah, it'll help. Or maybe it won't. Maybe don't.
Diagnose us as you edit.
That's what I was just thinking. He's gonna be like, interesting that they.
Diagnose us.
It sounds like this disorder. Oh, you've already said that. With your community and all the people that say their opinions and comment stuff, has it ever changed your opinion on a character that you guys are like currently reading in a series?
Like comments from listeners.
Comments from listeners, yeah, or even when you're just discussing, you're like picking up on things and you're like, I actually don't like this person as much, or I love this person.
Something that immediately came to mind for me is when we did Throne of Glass. And on my first read, it wasn't that I didn't like Chaol, but I was just kind of indifferent toward him. I wasn't either one way or the other. But then when Lauren got on the like a Justice for Chaol train, like I was like, she got me so hyped up. I was like, yeah, man, Chaol deserves some love too. Like, let's go. Like I was so I like hard transition to like all for Chaol just because of her like enthusiasm for him and
I love that.
all the hate that he was getting.
Yes.
he
I
does
literally,
get online.
you guys asked us later who's our favorite character from Throne of Glass, and I wrote Chaol because I think I got behind my Justice for Chaol whole thing. Like he gets so much hate and he doesn't deserve it that bad. And I think I built it up so much in my own heart and soul.
I
that-
need to know what your reasons are because I am not just
Yeah,
Without
can you
taking up
persuade
the
us?
whole
Because-
episode, if
yeah.
you could give your 60-second spiel on what you, because I call him Caesar salad. I think he's
kale salad.
Kale salad.
so yeah. Well,
It wasn't
does-
for the
he
Caesar
didn't need to use his name. You know who I'm talking about. So, what's your 60-second like? Sell me on kale.
Gosh, I feel like that's so hard to do. And in 60 seconds, there's a lot of pressure here because this is a big hot topic on the internet. I think he's the one of the only human that we meet, and he's thrown into this world where he's been told all of these people are evil and bad, and now he's just supposed to accept it out of nowhere. And I think he has genuine, actual human reactions to things and doesn't just fully accept it right away. And I don't think that that's an issue. I think that's character development. But I think people just expected everyone to just be on team Aelin because we followed that journey, but he did not and didn't get to have those experiences. He had to come to it on his own, and it took him a little bit to get there. But I don't think that that's necessarily a problem. I think that, like I said, that's his character development. And then his love story with Irene is iconic and it is amazing.
Right.
And
I
him
love
crawling on the
Irene.
floor and having those moments and that development for himself. And then how he is in that last book, just epic and supportive of her. And he is just like, you go off and do your things. And he's just it. He's it for me.
Maybe I need to reread it with
Oh.
an open heart
I
because
don't know because I see it picking her up at the prison. Like he knows what she is. It's not really a surprise.
I always say I want to push him. Right
Every
off that
single
tower of
person
God.
has issues. And no one in
Yeah.
that series is perfect. And everyone
You're
has
right.
done
True.
things that I completely disagree with. There's
Yeah.
some stuff for Aelin that I cannot
Except
stand.
Irene.
Yeah.
There are,
Well,
except for
I-
Irene.
Am I right, Kyle?
100%.
But Irene's perfect, actually.
Irene is
And
perfect.
Lysandra.
Couldn't do anything wrong. My angel
Lysandra's pretty
Irene.
great. Yeah. But they all have things that I would complain about. But for some reason, everyone is okay to either look past or accept necessarily that. But we don't for Chaol. And I just disagree. I don't think he deserves the hate he gets. And then because I was so defensive of him, I think I built that in my heart too. And I am number one Chaol defense.
Team
So,
Kale. We just finished a series, and my least favorite character is one of the author's favorite character.
Yeah.
It's like I don't know
Oh,
if
no.
she does it to press buttons or if she actually loves this character because she wrote him and knows maybe deeper things than we do. But
Yeah.
I'm like, by the end of the series, I started the series with, I'm going to try to open my heart and like this character. And then like episode 2, I was like, I hate him. I want him to die. Like, I don't like this guy. So I'm a
Was
big
his name
grudge holder.
Henry by any chance?
It might be Henry
It
with
might
an
be.
I.
I'm right there with you.
Yeah,
Mm.
it's
Yeah.
just in rereading it, I was like, reread. The reread's gonna open my eyes. I'm gonna learn to love him. And then rereading, I was like, this had the opposite effect on me. I sometimes I will post about like something mentioning Chaol and how we hate him. And that's one of my favorite things to post on TikTok because people fly to the comments to defend him. And they're like, people who don't understand Chaol just don't understand the book series. And I'm like, okay, let's come down.
it's the people
We
that
had the
skip
opposite.
Tower of Dawn for me.
Yes.
That's the
Yeah.
ones. It's like you say this is the best author and you love her, but you're just gonna not trust her and skip one of her books. Like what? Blows my brain.
Yeah.
I
Oh.
will say, if I would have read that series as it came out, like I think you did, I probably would have cried myself to sleep if I would have waited for that book and I was thinking that we were going to get
yeah.
everybody
Yep.
back together and it's
Yeah.
a book about Chaol. I would have been like, dear SJM, like,
Yeah.
here's my thoughts and I don't love you anymore.
Especially when you have to
Oh my
wait
gosh.
for the last one and then realize like things are happening at the same time. You're just in
Yeah.
different areas of the continent or like whatever. Like you're in different places on the map. And so like
You just
that was
started
a
that timeline
long
over.
wait. Yeah, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
No, I like Tower of Dawn because I like Irene.
Love
lot.
Irene.
Love Irene.
She's amazing.
Relatable.
As Kyle and I would say, hell yeah, brother.
Okay, well, we could talk about Throne of Glass for probably the entire episode.
Uh-huh.
So we can jump into some just general book questions. The first one I had on here was, what fantasy trope will you always defend no matter how overused?
Oh,
Found Family?
Yeah.
Oh, that's a
Okay.
good one. Yeah.
That
that's
is a good
100%.
one.
It's used so freaking much, but it's always, well, I won't say always, but usually pretty dang good.
I would take the word good girl any day of the week, any hour of the week, the day, all the time.
We jot that down.
Thank you, Kyle.
It depends on the context for me. Some most of the time it's great. Every once in a while you get one that's like a
A
little
good girl?
cringy. It depends. Yeah. It depends. But for me, I think mine would be the only one bed trope. That pretty much does it for me every time.
Yeah.
I love it.
I think I'm there with the guy who's like perfect, and then the bad guy comes into the scene, and then you watch everything
Yes.
flip to be
Ooh.
for the bad guy.
Bad guy.
Who turns out to be the
I
good
guess
guy the whole
that's
entire
like
time.
I feel like that's not used enough.
Yes.
I would read more of that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm curious to know if your guys' answer is my answer to the first question, but if you could erase one trope, what would that be?
Unreliable narrator.
Oh my God.
I think that'd be yours.
I was just gonna say, it might be because I was overexposed to it, but shadow daddies I'm done with. They can stop existing.
fair.
Stop making them. I get it. It was hot
Existing?
one time.
Wow.
I am curious.
That's a big
why
one.
is it always shadows though? Like
Yeah.
It's
I know that's not
mysterious
the
and dark.
point of-
I don't know.
I
If
don't
I
know.
could give like kind of a hot take opinion on that question, like why is it
Yeah.
always shadows? I really do sometimes feel that I won't say any specific one, but some authors may do it because this guy's morally gray. What else is gray? A shadow. So I'm going to give him a power that is gray as his morals. And I feel like you don't have to do that. You could give him literally any ability and he could still be morally gray. It's sort of
It's
almost
true.
like spelling it out for me. If I see a guy with shadows, I'm like, no, he's the morally gray shadow daddy. It's
Yeah.
obvious now.
That is true.
You say
Anytime
it just
this
like
person
that,
has
too?
shadows.
Yeah, I do it every time.
I agree with your hot take.
One thing that most people want to cancel is the miscommunication trope. But I always say it's the most realistic because
Yeah.
people don't always be
Oh.
talking. They just like,
Sure.
it is miscommunication in relationships. That's 100% of the problem 100% of the time.
I don't have an issue with a small amount of miscommunication. It's when that's throughout the whole book, when that's
Yeah.
all it is.
Yeah.
Like if in chapter 1 we have a miscommunication and we don't solve it till the end of the last chapter, and it's the
Yeah.
same miscommunication, that's when it gets me. If it's a little thing here or there and we're a little bit confused and whatever, that doesn't super bother me.
I just was saying I need my character growth.
Yeah, that's what
So-
I was going to say. I think that's
Yeah.
my only
Yeah.
issue is if you don't learn from it. Like you need,
Yeah.
it's fine to be realistic and it's fine to talk things out and learn how to talk things out, even if it's painful, but like
Yeah.
you got to learn from it. You got to grow. You can't just all of a sudden then do it again.
Or you just
In term-
immediately forgive everything that you thought of this person
Yes.
and then get married and run off and happily ever after. It's like,
Yeah.
that's not how that works either.
No, you need to process, work that out with
Yes.
your therapist. Like,
Mhm,
Yeah.
mhm.
I think in terms of that line of thinking, for miscommunication, I would rather see poor communication because miscommunication to me is like both characters get like a he said, she said sort of thing and believe it. I would love a 2-chapter dialogue of them straight up yelling at each other and like fighting with their words. And then that's it. Like they just have a huge blow up fight. And that's the reason they don't talk to each other. Not like, well, my friend said that you did this. And I, for some reason, believed it for 8 chapters and didn't talk to you.
Yeah.
What are we on the 3rd grade playground? Come on,
Yeah.
guys.
well, and I don't know if trope is the appropriate word, but I would add to my list to get rid of is just parents lying to their children because it
Mm.
never works out. It's like, well, I died,
Yeah.
but I did leave you a letter that you could only open on your 18th birthday. So I helped you. It's like, no, you could have just like told the truth at some point. Drives me insane.
I recently read a book where they were hiding something from a child's parents the whole book. And it drove me insane. I was like, what? Somebody tell her mom. Like, where is her mother? Why are we hiding this?
Yeah.
I think
I
that's one of those things that's different when you are a mother compared to maybe
Yeah.
somebody who's reading it and isn't.
I feel like that's so funny because I totally agree that like why are these we have so many talks on our podcast like all these dead people are very unhelpful with like their weird vague hints or whatever. But
Their
on the other
ghost
hand,
showing
when
up.
I read or watch something about like a kid who's going on an adventure and getting powers and he's like, well, I shouldn't tell my parents. For some reason I'm like, yeah, you shouldn't do that. That's the safe route. You need to keep this a secret. You can't tell your parents about the Indians in the cupboard. Don't do it. Like,
They'll
why
never
wouldn't they?
understand.
They won't get it.
Yeah, the adventure would end early. mom or
Yeah.
dad
Yeah.
would put a stop to that.
Yeah,
very
they just
true.
like lock up the cupboard. All right,
Yeah.
well,
Yeah.
it's over.
What do you mean you want to go on this adventure? No, that's not safe. Well,
Someone's gonna get hurt.
that kind of goes into the next question. Is there a fantasy world that you are like, it's off the list? I would die if I step foot in that and I can't do it. Or like a world that you guys
Mhm.
have read. You can name the book without any spoilers, I think, that you would just say, not for me. I can go first. I was going to say the desert world in Quicksilver that she's from. The main character whose name is escaping me. No, I'd be dead on the street. Like, wouldn't last.
Same.
The heat
Sure.
would, I can't do the heat, and it would just be too much. It'd be overwhelming. The
Yep.
sand, it just sounds like a stimulation nightmare. I wouldn't like it.
Yeah.
I wouldn't survive.
I might
Westeros.
die simply of discomfort.
Yes.
Like, this is not for me.
I always think I would thrive in Crescent City. Get my nails done, have my phone still, hang out
Wait,
with
is
my
it
fae
you that-
boyfriend.
Is it you
It'd be
that
awesome.
says that's your favorite of the three? Like, I know not everyone on here has read all of the universe, but is it one of you that said Crescent City is your favorite of the three?
I really like Crescent City.
Okay.
Everybody, it gets.
I think that was
I
John.
apparently
I may
I'm
have
just.
said-
I
yeah.
like it, but yeah, is it John? You're the favorite, right?
I might have said that that's my favorite series of the three.
I
Yeah.
love Crescent City, and I love Bryson Hunt.
I love
No, I
Crescent
love
City
Crescent
and I
City
love
too.
Bryce.
Well, see, notice I said Bryce and Hunt,
Yeah.
so there was a different answer between us.
I think mine would maybe be from the Gilded Prisoner series. One of the like kingdoms is Rot, and I just
Ooh.
am not sure I could be a part of that. The
Interesting.
way it's described in the book is like hot garbage everywhere, and
Yeah.
I don't think I could be there.
no, thank you.
Mm-mm, not for me.
Like
That's
literal
fair.
hot garbage. That's disgusting.
I just picture like New York City in summertime, like that smell
Ugh.
is
Yeah.
what I picture it being. And
Ugh.
I don't know if it's,
Gross.
I don't know if that's how I'm supposed to picture it, but that
that's-
smell is what hits me when I read that book,
Mm.
and I'm like, I don't want it.
That's a very specific smell too. That's
Yeah.
Yeah.
it's rough.
I would want to be with the dragons. I would want
Oh,
to
yeah.
say that I could survive in a
Yeah.
world with dragons. Want is the key word there. I don't know if I
Mhm.
could. I get motion sickness. I would want to pet them probably.
That's exactly
Got
what I was
bad
just
knees.
thinking.
I just-
Like I would not survive at Basgiath. I would die
No.
immediately,
I'm not
no matter what
making it
quadrant
past
I'm
the
in.
parapet.
I'm not.
Yeah.
I'm not
Yeah.
making it.
That first
No.
walk, like I would be like, well, I slipped. I'm done.
Mhm.
If the parapet didn't do it to me, the gauntlet surely would.
Exactly. Oh my God, yeah.
The egotistical side of me thinks I could survive in any fantasy world, but it's not like I'm going to be the main character survive. It's like, yeah, in any of these, if I was in a decent city, I could open up a bakery and be fine. Like I'm not gonna thrive necessarily, but I could make it. I could make
I'm
it
gonna
work.
serve the protagonist a muffin, and it's gonna
Yeah.
be great.
I'll be
Yeah.
the one where they're like, man, this bakery always has the best rolls or whatever. And everyone's like, and then they move on. That's me. I'm making the roll.
Kyle was the bread cart lady the whole time.
It was me. Just remove the mask.
I would be one of the shop owners in the rainbow of Valaris. That's where I would thrive. That is my ideal scenario. That's what I want.
I literally always picture myself as a main character, even though I'd probably be one of the side characters that dies very, very soon at the beginning of the book.
I
Dylan.
picture myself as the main character. One of the questions is, would you rather be the chosen one or the trusted sidekick? When I am reading or watching a film or something, I feel like I get in the headspace of the main character. So that's what I envision. I've never thought about opening a pastry shop, but I think that maybe I should try it. I should try to envision that side too.
I did think for that question, if it was a choice between chosen and sidekick, I would go sidekick because, in my opinion, they get the cooler powers. Like a lot of the time, the main character's like, that's a pretty cool power. But then you hear about what their sidekick do. I'm like, whoa, that's crazy. Like, why is this guy second fiddle to this?
And less responsibility.
All you do is crack a joke and do something amazing every few chapters.
You are at risk for being killed off faster.
Yes,
That's
I feel
true.
like.
But I mean, when are you not? It is what it is.
Yeah.
It's a fantasy world. We're just living in it.
I always like to think I would be a main character or sidekick, but I have too much anxiety for that, and I don't think I would be anybody. I'd just be in the background. Somebody casually mentioned as they're passing in a hallway or something, or at lunch. That would be me. I wouldn't make it. I don't have much hope for myself in that.
you see that girl taking deep breaths out in the hallway?
She's got a bag and it's inflating.
That's
me.
Lauren's meltdown room over there.
If you throw me out anywhere where there's just snow, I probably won't survive. I'm not gonna lie.
Snow?
Yeah. no,
Really?
I can't handle the cold like that. No. Then again, I can't handle the heat, so I guess either extreme, I'm done.
Just put me in
Yeah.
a neutral climate and I'll thrive.
That's what I'm saying.
He's
Crescent
somewhere
City.
temperate.
You got air conditioning. You got like, it
True.
just sounds so nice.
Picturing like the North and like Westeros, basically, of like George R. R. Martin's series. I'm like, no, I would not survive that.
A brutal winter.
Yeah, a brutal winter and I'm done.
Winter is coming and I am leaving.
Exactly. Exactly. I'm heading south. Sorry, guys.
Yep. Flying south for the winter.
Okay, so what's more important to you guys, especially when you're picking a new series to dive into, or just for each of you individually, an intricate magic system or a strong character arc?
I mean, character arcs are obviously, I think, the most important part of a book story, or they should be, like character growth. But if there is magic, it just can't get in the way of it. Like, it can be as complicated as the story requires it to be. If the characters don't get into like rules, variants, materials, and rituals, I don't need that either. But if they do, then, and they use like loopholes in it, then yeah, I should probably be in the know. But if not, then like they cast spells, great. Jeremy can shoot fire out of his mouth. That's all I need to know. It's not like some amazing thing.
I really appreciate a strong magic system because the character development, like Kyle said, should happen. That should be like the main part. But if the world that it is all set in feels like there is like plot holes because of this magic system that has been created, I feel like I'm just not going to enjoy it as much as if it was like a solid foundation. And then when I think of books, there's often, like I wrote down One Dark Window. Like I remember that book mostly because its magic system was so unique. And I think about it all the time. And I've never read anything like it. And it still blows my mind how it works. And I love the characters and I love the story. But when I'm thinking about it, that's the first thing that comes to my mind is the cool magic system and everything that happened in it because of that magic system.
It does
The
also
character
have
growth was, like,
excellent
directly
character
tied to it.
development, though. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. But like half of what was happening for some of those characters was because of like
Mhm.
Right.
the magic they were using, and
Yeah.
specifically in book 2.
That's true.
Which is like exactly, yeah, it was just as complicated and just as explained as it needed to be for that story.
Yes.
Versus like, I don't know, like even older books like Lord of the Rings, sometimes magic just happens and I have to accept that a white wizard is more powerful than a gray wizard and he can do cooler stuff. And I'm like, well, all right, I guess, sure.
If you say so.
I would say like the character arcs are obviously going to be, I think, more important. But I think if you get a really good, intricate magic system, it can really enhance the character development and the story in general. And I almost like a historical element, I guess, to like magic systems. So like
Yeah.
kind of knowing like where it came from and how it's been like developed and practiced over time. And then that person also, like you see that character in the story also receiving that understanding just like you are as a reader, I think is really cool.
Yeah, I get very frustrated when like a point in history in the magic system is referenced but not explained. It's like, oh, since 1776, that's just the way it's been. And you're like, what happened then that made this the way that it is? So I get
Yeah.
like very frustrated with that. But I said it the last episode. I'll probably say it every episode. I am someone that I'm just happy to be along for the ride when I read a book. I don't really I love almost every book I read for different reasons. And then I also, when they recommend books or say something about it, I'm like, don't tell me a single thing. I don't even want to look at the cover. I just want to
Yes.
like go in and not know
Same.
anything. If I could never choose another book to read and have someone just hand it to me for the rest of my life, I would.
I totally
Same.
agree.
Well, in 1776, that was when America became America. So I
That's
guess that
exactly
is
what I
really when
thought.
the magic
No
began.
one's told
That is
me.
exactly what I
Yeah.
thought, Kyle.
And there's a whole musical about it if you want to learn
Yeah.
more.
Yep.
Oh,
The founding fathers and there's some sick magic here,
Yep.
actually. Here's our whole system.
I'm a character development person, but I mean, as long as there's balance, I will like both. But it's pretty much what you guys said. Like it has to be balanced out in the right way. If there's too much magical like system, I'm going to get bored because I'm like, "Ah, I don't need this. I want to see what's happening with the characters."
I like to dive into the magic system,
Yeah,
I
that's
think a lot. But that's
Yeah.
just because I think fantasy elements like that can be so big with world building and showing what your characters are capable of. And I don't know, I think that's important. But I do love friendships. I love found family. I love seeing a character's growth. So that has to be foundational, like you guys said. I think that's a given and an important part of the story. But if an author can write a magic system that's unique, but can also explain it so well and in detail where it makes sense, like I really appreciate that because I don't think everybody can do that. I feel like some people can just sprinkle little things and then you're just having to accept it and go along with it, even questioning the whole way, like, how is that possible?
And I don't always follow it, but
Yeah.
you've taught me that the map is important.
I need the map. You have to reference the map.
To look at the map. I don't always do it, and sometimes there's huge spoilers, and if you just read the map. But I appreciate the maps more
Yeah.
now because of you. We'll kind of jump into one of the last two questions. If you had to recommend one fantasy series to rule them all, what are you guys recommending?
This is so rude.
Yeah, this is not a fair question.
There's
I
too
thought I had
many.
it till you said to rule them all. And I was like, well, I
Yeah.
don't know if
Okay, how
anyone
about just the
deserves that
first?
right now.
What's the first one that pops into your mind? You're not saying that this is your ultimate, but like that question triggered to like think of this series. I know, looking back at your bookshelf.
I'm like, what have I read?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Mine's Dungeon
Oh,
Crawler right now.
that's what I was going to say.
Yeah.
Because that
Like-
was a book that I randomly picked up in just like a library and convinced Lauren to read it. And now that Con and John are reading it too, it's like reigniting the passion I have for the book series. It's just so good.
Yeah.
Well, it's so
Aw.
fun watching people like you explain what it is and the concept, and they look at you like you're the weirdest person ever.
Yeah.
And then the
Exactly.
next time you see them, they're just as hooked as you are, and they're
Yeah.
only
Yep.
like 5 chapters in. It's
Yeah.
so
Yep.
fun.
Even at Enchanticon, I'm sure you guys saw too, there was the people who were dressed up as Carl and Princess Donut, and she had like the inflatable or whatever, and we were going like, oh my gosh, it's Carl and Donut, and Johnny Con had no idea. So I'm sure to them they're like, what is the big
I was
deal?
like going over and taking pictures with this guy in
This
heart
guy's, like, wearing
boxers and whatever.
boxers.
I'm so excited we're covering it too, and hopefully some people who are more romantic-y led
Yeah.
readers
Yeah.
will dive into this with us and love it too. So that's what we're
And
hoping
it does
for.
have
Yeah.
sort of a nitty-gritty magical system that does have strict rules, and it has like
Yeah.
a nice base, but
Yeah.
you don't really hear about it unless you need to. They bring it up before things are used, or like it's explained once and later they'll bring it back up when it's important. And honestly, a great I know I started it out of Lauren and I, but you can get your husband to read along with you. If
Yes,
it's
you
like if you're going to
can.
start one series together, this is the
It's
one
the
to
one.
do it.
We've
my
always said that
husband-
you need to read one for your husband, something he's interested in, and then try
Yeah.
to have him read one with you that maybe you're more interested in, and then you find that happy middle ground together. But
Yeah.
if
Yeah.
you're the reader, you gotta lean his way. Like you gotta go with that first, whatever he'd be interested in first. He's not gonna do a rom com with you. Book one.
No, I tried that first. It didn't work.
Yeah. I think the first book that came to my mind, though, of I don't want to say rule them all, but the one that right now is like my top series is the Empyrean series. And I just think it has that found family. It has really cool magic. It has great character development, but it also has really high stakes. And we've kind of complained about that from some books we've all read together on pod, but also off pod recently, that there's just no stakes. No one ever dies. And not that you want your characters to die, but that's what makes it suspenseful, or that's what like makes it you sit on the edge of your seat. If you know everyone's going to survive, then you're reading this scene and they're almost dead and it's just kind of like, okay, whatever. So
Yeah.
you get some of that in Empyrean, and so it really is on that edge of your seat. You don't know what's going to happen
Yeah.
or where it's going, and yeah, I would recommend that series to anybody.
Real quick, one of you or all of you, I could stay here forever. What is like a hot take or a theory that you have for the next book?
Kyle had a really good one.
Did I? Oh,
Yes.
wait, it's coming back to me.
Did
There's something
I?
about.
Again.
Was it the one where I thought that maybe it was the dragons themselves that killed the other dragons in order to create a new Empyrean? Like there were
Mhm.
some that were sided with the. Oh, it's been too long. What were they called?
The Venom?
The venom, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Some of the dragons sided with the venom, and they were killing off some of the head dragons to then become new head dragons, and then a new Empyrean that could make new laws.
Damn.
Yeah, because it was
Hot take.
it three or four
Mm-hmm.
were killed, right? Of the
it would have led to a
7 dens.
majority.
I definitely don't think the dragons are good.
No, they can't all be good.
And the dragons are the Empyrean, so I feel like that's going to be pretty
Yeah.
important.
Like
if
a
the whole
main
series
point.
is named after
They're
them.
probably fairly key to the Empyrean series.
I tell people this theory, but I don't think it's actually true. But I think it would be good writing, is if actually Violet had to kill Xaden, and this whole next book we're on this journey, and it's the very end we find out that she actually killed him at the end, and that's why they erased her memory and all of that, because she was the one that has to do it anyways. So you're reading this whole 4th book, and you're thinking that there's hope that they're going to get back together, but he's already dead. But that's depressing. And
Crazy.
That's
and also,
wild.
I don't think she would do that. I don't think she would do that. Based off her other books, I'm like, that's too dark. That's
Yeah.
too depressing.
Yeah.
Also, the readers love Xaden and Violet. So if you're gonna do 5 books and you kill them off in book 3,
Yeah,
those
Yeah.
last 2 are gonna be tough.
that's fair.
I will say, like, in defense of your that's too dark, that's too depressing, I would love dark and depressing. I feel like sometimes I really want it to go there, and
Yeah.
it doesn't, and then I'm like, oh, they're too
Yeah.
happy.
Yeah.
Devastate
See,
me, somebody.
Yes.
That happened to me with a series, and I was like so sure that this is how it's going to end. And yes, I was devastated and I was crying, but then something
Mhm.
happened, and I was like, oh, now you ruined the book. Like,
Yeah.
why? It doesn't always have to be happy.
I wanted
Yes.
to wallow.
Yes.
I feel like another series that I'm like currently, I think I'm on the 4th or 5th book in, the Sun Eater series. Like with Christopher Rucchio, he does not sugarcoat anything. And so your character like goes through everything, and you feel through them through some of those like harder moments, because it might be a book long, but it's fine. You'll get through it on the other side.
I think that there's like a place for like the real stakes and the real scenarios in life and stuff. And that's why I appreciate like my fluffy rom-com. I know exactly what's going to happen. Filler books in between
Yes.
being devastated and heartbroken. And then I'll be ready for that again and pick up another fantasy series. So
I call them my Hallmark books. I'm like, I just got to go
Yeah.
crack open my
Yes.
Hallmark book
mhm.
and take my
Yeah, it's
happy
nice to
time.
know at times exactly where it's going. But that's when
Mhm.
it's like a contemporary, you're in the real world, the stakes are so low compared
Yeah.
to fighting and with dragons and whatever else.
I like to read just a variety of books. Like I said, I don't like to be told what it's about, or it can be any genre, but I will say when it comes to like fantasy, when I hear that it's several books long and there might be a tiny bit of romance, I'm like, okay, yeah, I'm probably going to enjoy that a lot.
The romance hooks you, I think.
Yeah. I like a good romance with
Me
a
too.
shadow daddy, maybe.
Me too.
I like my romance books. That is what I want. I don't care if it's dark. I don't care if it's gory. I just want there to be at least one little love connection for me.
Did you guys finish answering for the one that rules them all for you?
I would probably go with Crescent City, to be honest with you, and not ACOTAR, because like it's not one that I would suggest to like everybody. Like if I were talking to another guy, I probably wouldn't suggest ACOTAR, right? So
Yeah.
I'd probably suggest something like Crescent City.
I tell people all the time, especially if they're getting into fantasy. First off, if you do try ACOTAR, make it past book 2. If you can't get past book 2, then you're not going to like this series.
Yeah.
Don't give up on the first one though. But my husband, he doesn't read a ton of fantasy, but he just read the Everflame, the Kindred's Curse saga, because we did 23 episodes of it, and we interviewed Penn Cole. So he's like, I'll start with this one, and he loved it. So he was staying up.
good.
I was like turning over, and he'd be like up at 2:30 in the morning and reading it. And now he wants to read the Dungeon Crawler.
Yeah.
So that's probably
Yes.
what we're gonna do
Nice.
together next. Well, guys, I don't have any more questions. Did you have anything that you wanted to add? Whether it's just like talking about the Dungeon Crawlers, or maybe a question that you had, or anything else?
I would love to know what you guys are most excited about, like
books that are coming out this year or like a series you're excited to cover?
That's actually a great question. If you guys have any recommendations, we don't know what series we're going to do next. We like to do, we call them one night stands. We like to do some standalones and some author interviews in between
Nice.
doing our next series. We don't know what we're going to do. I'm most excited if Penn Cole announces the fourth and final book to Kindred's
Oh,
first
yeah.
saga. That will be what I'm most excited for. That is my favorite fantasy series.
We still need to finish Guild. We never got back to that one.
Guild, and I just started one with my friends from college, but I feel like the word shadows in there, maybe.
Oh,
No,
Probably.
not daddy. But just so we're
Shadow
not-
Mommy?
Yeah. What? No.
Shadow Mommy, I would read.
Yeah.
See that?
That might turn me around on the idea. I don't know.
We gotta start writing now.
Yeah.
We'll send each other
Yeah.
chapters. But yeah, I'm really excited for that. If she she hasn't announced that she's coming out with it, but it is on
Right.
like the list of most anticipated releases. And isn't
Yeah.
the third book in Quicksilver also supposed to come out this year?
November 10th.
In November. Yeah.
Wow.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's quick.
If that comes
Yeah.
out,
Silver.
it would be nice to have another completed series to add to the list, because I feel like I'm only
Yeah.
I don't
choosing
think that's
series that are like,
complete, is it? Or is it
oh,
3?
is it more than 3?
Yeah, it's a core trilogy.
Okay. Well, I don't know. I feel like I'm only reading uncompleted series right now.
Yeah.
So
I'm very excited because we got a recommendation when we very first started out. Like, I think maybe our first episode had been out, and it was 3 Bags Full. And I haven't read it yet. And I just saw that Hugh Jackman's going to be in a movie released in May that is
Ooh.
over the book. And I.
oh, is that the
Oh, that's
sheep
cool.
detective
The
one?
sheep detective.
Oh,
one. Yeah.
I've seen the trailer and I was like, what
Yeah,
is
I
Hugh
just saw
Jackman
one.
doing in this weird sheep movie? But if the book is good, okay.
Yeah, it was like one of our
Okay.
first recommendations, and
I,
I'm like about to go download it on my
Interesting.
Kindle and like read it immediately.
I feel like people are a lot of times shy to share what they recommend you read, because they're like, I don't know what you like to read. But really, it's like, we will read anything.
Yeah.
You're definitely the
Yeah.
most diverse reader of the group, because I feel like you take her into a Barnes and Noble and she's like, I've read that, I've read that, I've read that, I've read that.
I just like to read anything I can get my hands on.
Yeah.
I will say that I could give you 2 book recommendations that were recommended to me that I will just pass along.
Yeah.
By Lauren from Book Huddle. I've read Project Hail Mary, which was a great book. Amazing
Such a great book. So good.
The other book I'm still currently reading, but almost done, is The Devils, and it's very found family. It's got a little bit of romance mixed into that found family, but it's very good so far. Super hectic, very comedic in a like a sacrilegious way, I guess. It's but it's a really fun book so far. I'm enjoying it.
We'll have to check it out.
I've seen the cover at the bookstore, and I've read The Martian, which is it's sad, but it's good.
It is. It's
So I'm
and
excited.
Project Hail Mary is so good. Like,
Is
it's
it?
one of my
The
favorite
movie
books of
trailer looks good.
2025.
That might be
Yeah.
one we
Yeah.
have to read and then go watch the movie.
I'm
Yes,
down to
yeah, I'd read The Martian before I saw that movie, and
Yeah.
I'm hoping that this movie does as good of a job, because The Martian was pretty book accurate up
Yeah,
until like
it
the last
was.
5 minutes. But what are you gonna do about that?
Yeah. And I thought they did a good job.
I love when a book becomes, if it becomes a movie, even if it's just absolutely awful, I'm like, sure, I'll read that and go see the
Mhm.
movie. I'll go to a theater and eat popcorn and candy and watch a movie that I've read. Sure.
I'll be the one
Yeah.
saying this is the book so much better.
Yeah.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh.
This is so inaccurate. You wouldn't even understand.
You should read the book for
Yeah.
real.
My favorite thing.
John
to say,
came to see
pretty
people we
much.
meet on vacation with me, and the whole way home I was like, and also in the book, this was different. The whole way home.
That's me too.
I remember, okay, I just got to say this real quick. I remember the first time getting pissed off at a book and a movie not being inaccurate or accurate. And it was Hunger Games in
Ooh.
7th or 8th grade or whatever, middle school. And in the first movie, how Katniss gets the Mockingjay pen is so different than
Yeah.
in the
Different.
books, and it completely takes away the meaning of the pen. And I was like, I don't even think I'll see the second one. Like, I was just in the
Did
theater.
you even read
little
Divergent?
middle school. No, I didn't read
Because
Divergent
those
a
movies
girl
were
ruined it for
very
me.
different.
Yeah.
Divergent. It
Oh,
breaks my heart.
man.
The ending of that series. Oof.
Right. That was a moment for all of us.
Yeah. Talk about real stakes, or I don't know actually know if that really counts, but
Now I need to slow down my heart rate. I got that off my chest.
Oh gosh. She's
I
been
appreciate you
holding
sharing
in
that.
for
Yeah.
so
Thank
many
you.
years.
Yeah, thank you
Thank
guys
you.
for listening and understanding. Guys, we don't have any more questions for you. We greatly appreciate you taking time, especially on a Friday night, to hop on this
course.
podcast with us.
Yeah, so fun.
Thanks for having us. We really appreciate it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
So fun to get to talk to you all.
Yes.
you
Like
too.
you said, a long time coming, so we appreciate it.
Yes.
And
if it's
hopefully we
okay
get to see you again someday down the
Yes.
road
Yeah.
at some event somewhere.
Now let's wrap it up. Thank you so much for listening to this week's episode. Next episode, we will be joined by the podcast called The Manuscript to discuss the standalone Alchemy of Secrets. Be sure to follow us on all of our socials. Tune in every Friday on YouTube or wherever you get your podcasts for a new episode of
Book
Thoughts.
Thoughts.